Whether you are new to vegetable gardening or an experienced pro, sometimes it's difficult to know how and when to harvest vegetables. Harvesting at the right time can make the difference between flavorful produce and practically unpalatable. Hi, this is Amy from Gardening Know-How, and I'm going to share a few handy garden harvest tips that will have you picking those vegetables at their peak. Timing for harvesting vegetables is primarily dictated by the length of time they have been growing. This information is found on seed packets and plant tags. Be sure to keep your tags and packets throughout the season for reference, even if they're empty, or jot down the recommended harvest date into a notepad. I like to add a reminder event into my phone's calendar so that I can set it and forget it. As far as the timing of the harvest, some veggies prefer to be picked early, while others need to wait on the vine. Basically, the best time to harvest vegetables is when the commercial farmers do, so early in the morning. Produce harvested in the morning tends to stay crisp and fresh, while veggies harvested during the heat of the day tend to wilt. If you're not a morning person, the next best time to pick is in the evening after the heat of the day has passed. Veggies continue to improve or degrade after they are picked, so timing is crucial. Some veggies like tomatoes, zucchini, peppers, and various root vegetables can be picked at any time of the day, but should then go right into the proper storage. When harvesting vegetables, you are looking for ripeness. Ripeness involves all of your senses, from smelling to eyeballing your peas for that just-so plumpness, puncturing a corn kernel, and popping a couple of cherry tomatoes right into your mouth. Green beans, for instance, should be harvested when the pods are full, but not swollen, dark green, and not fading in color. Harvest green, wax, bush, and pole beans when they are still young and tender, before the seeds that are inside are visibly evident when looking at the pod. Store the freshly picked beans, unwashed, in a plastic bag in the crisper drawer. Whole beans should remain fresh for about 1 week. One of the most popular home garden crops is the tomato. Tomatoes are one of the vegetables, well, technically fruits, which can be picked before they are completely ripe. In fact, the harvest should ideally occur when the fruit is green and then allowed to ripen off the vine. There is a fine line when picking tomatoes at the green stage. Look for the first light blush of color as an indicator of when to pick your tomatoes. Of course, you can always harvest tomatoes when they are ripe, but there's more of a chance the fruit will become split or bruised. Heirloom types with a tendency to crack should be picked before the cracking extends to the interior of the tomato, which can then introduce bacteria. Sweet corn is ready to be harvested once the silk is brown and dry and the kernels are plump and juicy. Be sure to cook or freeze within 72 hours, as the quality will begin to degrade quickly. Onions should be harvested once the foliage begins to yellow and the tops fall over. After digging the onions, dry or cure for several days, then cut the tops off and store in a cool, dry area. Harvest garlic similar to onions. You can begin testing the garlic once the leaves or leaf tips turn 1/3 brown. To test, just loosen the dirt around 1 or 2 bulbs to get an idea of size while still keeping them in the ground. If you dig the bulbs too soon, they will be small, and if you dig them too late, they will be split and no longer good for eating. Be careful not to wait too long though. Once the leaves are 1/2 to 2/3 brown, you should harvest the garlic regardless of its size. Potatoes are an easy crop to harvest. All you need to do is wait until the tops of the plants are dry and have turned brown. Start digging wide around the potatoes to keep from damaging them. Then after harvest, the potatoes must be cured. Allow them to sit in temperatures of 45 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit for about 2 weeks. The skins will harden during this time. Store your potatoes in a dark place, as too much light will turn them green. If you are looking for tender, edible pea pods, pick early. When you see the pods swelling, pick one to see what's inside. If the peas are of a desired size, start picking the others. If not, wait a bit longer to harvest, but check daily as they ripen quickly. After harvesting your peas, the spent foliage is a perfect addition to your compost bin, or turn it into your garden, as the nitrogen-rich plant provides nutrients far superior to any chemical fertilizer in the soil. Harvesting peppers differs by variety. Most sweet varieties mature within 60 or 90 days, while some of their spicy cousins may take up to 150 days. Bell peppers are often harvested when the fruit is still green, but full-sized. For sweeter flavor, allow the pepper to remain on the plant to ripen fully, changing colors from yellow to orange to red. Banana peppers can also be harvested when yellow or mature at orange or red. Hot peppers should be picked when they reach a deep color or complete the change to their final color, such as the deep red of the cayenne pepper. The when and how to harvest lettuce depends on the type. Loose leaf lettuce can be harvested anytime the leaves have formed to about 4 inches, but prior to the formation of a seed stalk. Simply snip a few outer leaves or grab a bunch and cut with scissors just an inch above the plant. If you leave that crown intact, it will produce again, resulting in additional harvests. Heads of lettuce are harvested by cutting the entire head away from the stalk. Be sure to use a sharp knife. No matter the type, harvest all lettuce in the morning for the best results. Lettuce is also the perfect succession crop. Seeds can be planted every 3 weeks for continuous harvesting. Cucumbers are usually ready to harvest in 50 to 70 days. The fruits should be picked before they show the signs of yellowing, which indicates the fruits are past their prime. As cucumbers do not continue to ripen after harvest, it is best to pick when they are firm with green flesh. The exact size depends on the use and variety grown. Cut the stem 1/4 inch above the fruit. Do not twist or pull the fruits to remove. Harvesting ripe cucumbers at the right time ensures sweet fruits that have no bitterness. Cucumbers left on the vine too long have a bitter taste that ruins the fresh flavor. Even though zucchinis can grow rather large rather quickly, it is best to harvest smaller fruits as they are more tender with a better taste. Ideally, zucchini and summer squash should be harvested when they are about 6 to 8 inches long. If you leave them on the vine too long, the seeds and the rind will harden. And if the fruit feels mushy, it is past its prime and probably rotten. If squash is properly stored in a crisper, it should remain fresh for a week or more. Avoid storing the squash in sealed bags or airtight containers, as the lack of airflow will impact their flavor. Other veggies that I have yet to mention, like root crops such as turnips, beets, and radishes, plus winter squash and eggplant, should be harvested when they reach their mature size. Once the garden begins to ripen, it is best to check its progress each and every day, as some veggies ripen quickly. Daily checks are also a good time to check your plant's health. Check the leaves for any spots or discoloration to quickly put an end to any disease or pest that may have taken over. You also do not want to wait until your vegetables grow too big. Most vegetable varieties have the best flavor and tenderness if picked small. Daily checks will help keep an eye on the size of your individual harvests. When harvesting your fresh produce, gently cut them from the vine with a sharp pair of pruners or scissors. Do not twist or pull the produce from the plant. Place them in a large bin or basket big enough for that day's harvest to prevent any damage or bruising. Homegrown vegetables may not resemble those you see at the grocery store. Having unrealistic expectations may cause you to think you did something wrong or that the vegetables are not edible. When you grow your own, you will soon realize that your misshapen or small yield is fresher with better flavor than anything you can buy at the grocery store. Your hard work will pay off. Well, now you have the know-how to properly harvest some of the most common garden vegetables. Let us know in the comments below if you have any additional harvesting or storage tips for fresh produce. For more information on home gardens, please visit us at gardeningknowhow.com and subscribe to our channel. For additional gardening tips delivered right to your inbox, please sign up for our free weekly newsletter with the link below. Thanks for watching and happy gardening!